Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the Name, and this video is about being a product of my environment. I am from the hood, or you could say I am a product of my environment. It may not look like it, and I carry myself in a certain way and everything, but I am still a product of my environment. And the reason why this is a topic that I wanted to discuss is because I have a lot of friends from my background who grew up the way I grew up, and even new people that I meet through social media. Um, there are a lot of people who, I guess, what's a good phrase or good word for it, who identify with the kind of person that I am today, but also identify with the person that I was, or the upbringing that I came from. And so I wanted to make sure that people understood that there's a difference between being a statistic and being a product of your environment. So you can come from a less fortunate background, and you are still, or you can still be considered a product of your environment based on how you responded to that environment. See, I knew that I didn't want to continue to be in that place like that. So I grew out of that. But it's other people who may, I guess, go deeper into that world. And you are definitely a product of your environment. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say definitely, but most people will be products of their environment. And that's just because that's what you know, right? Like if you are a teacher, or if your mom was a teacher, your dad was a teacher, your grandparents were teachers, all of their friends were teachers, all of your friends were teachers. 9 times out of 10, you may explore that world. You may just say, well, I might go try to be a teacher just because that's your environment. You know that world, you know the kind of things that they deal with. If your dad, your granddad, your uncle were all farmers or whatever like that, you may end up, farming at some point in time just through life experience. And so based on that, alone, you are influenced by your surroundings. And that is why, even though, growing up in, say, a certain neighborhood or something like that, if you grew up in a blood neighborhood, 9 times out of 10, you're more than likely going to become a blood. It's not always guaranteed that that's what's going to happen, but you might become a blood, you might become a crip. And so, based on the things that you're exposed to, the things that you're around, if people where you from hustle, then 9 times out of 10, if you're from that neighborhood, if you grew up around these certain kind of people, you're gonna probably hustle. And so I definitely was exposed to a lot of different types of people and different types of things, and fortunately, I grew up around hustlers. So, hold on, I'm just trying to check something. There's 28 people in here right now. I'm just logging in, so 28 people in here. Where y'all from? Y'all holler at me. I'm watching. So anyway, there are things like. And now you're watching Casino is the Name. On this channel, we talk about building. Anyway, so there are things like, let's say, if your uncle or whatever, if he drives trucks and he talks to you all the time about driving trucks, you might become a truck driver just because you kind of have some familiarity with, right? Versus becoming a pilot. 9 times out of 10, if you interact with some pilots or you come from a family of pilots, you have a good chance of becoming a pilot. But not always becoming a pilot. Maybe you hear some things about being a pilot or about being a truck driver or something like that, and you decide that's not necessarily the thing that you want to do, but you're influenced by that still. You're still influenced by that. So I grew up around a lot of different types of people, and I saw what I did not want to become. I was exposed to that. I saw things, and don't get me wrong, I still did some things, you could say, for lack of better words, not knowing better, even though, of course, you know better, but it becomes normal, right? Like, certain things get normalized. If everybody is fighting where you're from, then that's a normal thing to you. and so fighting is not such a big deal or whatever. So, but if you go somewhere else or you didn't grow up like that, and you've never seen a fight before, then you know somebody trying to fight you or you get in a fight seems foreign. You know, it wouldn't be the first thing that you would jump to 9 times out of 10. And so that's why I know that we are products of our environment. But the way I choose to carry myself now, it is basically a large part of the way I carry myself now is because of the way I came up, or because I know what I don't want anymore. It was a long time before I even found out that you could back down, like that you didn't have to go all the way with somebody who was trying you up or something like that. Like it was a long time before I even realized that I was just about, I don't want to say grown, but I was up in my teenage years before I even realized that you can walk away, that you don't have to meet force with force and stuff like that. But like the way that I am now, and the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is really because of a conversation that I had with one of my godbrothers, and he watches my YouTube channel every now and then. Right, he's not the biggest on cell phones, on social media and things like that, but okay, checking something out. Check, all right. What's good? What's good? Oh man, I didn't even see all these messages in here, but my yeah. All right. So my god brother, right? He is not the best when it comes to like cell phones and social media and things like that. So what ended up happening, he called me earlier today and he was like, "Yo, you know, I've been watching your YouTube channel, and bruh, you know, they must not know. They must not know who you is, bro. They must not know, you know, you got people out here who will slide up on them for hating in the comment section and stuff like that." And I'm like, bro, you know, it ain't, this is social media, this ain't real life, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So he was just like, man, look, man, you know, they must not know. I'll find out who these people is and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, bro, it's just YouTube. You're like, man, they must not know, bro. I done seen you change your life, bro. Like, I know what you came from, bro, and to see them playing with you like that, I don't want you to have to do nothing. Let me do it. You know, I'm like, no, it ain't that serious, man. It's just, you know, YouTube. I said, and he was like, you know, I see the way you handle it and everything, and I just want to commend you, bro, because I know, bro, like, these people don't even deserve to talk to you like that. And I was just like, bro, it's like, I know better. And I told him, I said, well, the way I handle it, or even, because he said, why, you know, like, the fact that you even defending yourself in the comments, like, you know, you shouldn't even be doing that, bro. Like, they don't know, bro, how I pull. And so I was like, what you don't realize is I'm still playing a certain game, right? Like, I know that there are some people out there who are looking at my comments and watching these videos because, you know, we are growing together in this community. And there are people who are watching these comments and seeing how I respond. Right? So if somebody say something negative to me, I can get in the comment box and I can say, you know, I could do the most. You know what I'm saying? I could do the most. And I'm the real thing, right? So I can do the most if I want to. And I don't choose to do that. What I do choose to do is I choose to say, hey, you know, I appreciate you watching my videos. If you don't like it, you know, if you see something that you don't like, you know, I ain't gonna say my apologies, but just, you know, if you see something you don't like, it's not meant to, you know, I guess affect some kind of emotion in you or whatever, but, you know, I appreciate you watching, and, you know, say what you want, but I wish you the best, right? So he see that, and he's like, man, that's so crazy, because the old you would have been, and I was like, nah. But doing all of that could block another blessing. You know what I'm saying? So if I get in there and I act out, then it might be somebody who's watching my videos, and then they go down to see the first negative comment they see. They want to see how I handle it. And then they see like, oh, he know how to handle himself. I can bring him up to this next level. I can bring him up to this next platform. Hold on, let me see. What we got? Okay, man, ain't y'all going in the comments. Pablo Martinez, hold on, what's good? DeVito, okay, what's happening? Just Mario, what's up, bro? Anika, okay. Gorilla, what's up? Cancel flight snoring like, okay, it's snowing up there in Canada. I see you, Gorilla. Yeah, man, so you know, we growing on this. We growing on this platform, so I ain't finna let nobody trick me out of my position. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of those things that you have to, that my environment showed me one side. But because I know what I came from, I don't really feel the need that I need to meet somebody on that level, because 9 times out of 10, they not even from, they not even coming from that mentality, which is why they even have an issue, in the comment section. That's the only. I got a video where I'm standing there talking to my mom, and I'm pretty sure I have a dislike on that video. You know what I'm saying? And talking to my mom about how she helped, bring kids out the neighborhood and stuff like that. Like it is always gonna be some kind of negativity, but I'm cool with it, and I understand how to handle it, because I'm not somebody who is threatened by comment section, because I've been through real threats. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like for some of my people who watching, this is all like a learning experience for them, And I have had one of my godbrothers kind of go off on somebody, you know what I'm saying? But I let them know, this is all cool, man. Like, this is just words in the comment box, and the love is the love, and the hate. I mean, you're not. I told my godbrother who I talked to today. I told him, if you ain't got somebody out there who mad at you, then you're not doing enough. You know what I'm saying? They're not even mad at you. They're mad at themselves. They really hate themselves. They just need somebody to take it out on, and that tends to be you. So, I'm cool, but being a product of my environment has allowed me to have that comfort zone, knowing how to handle things like this. Well, coming from a mindset where I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. They not real. They not serious. They nerds or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you wouldn't normally play these kind of games, and I'm a grown man. I'm respectful and everything like that. But I just want to let people out there who might have a similar background, a similar story like mine, and just know that you are still a product of your environment, but you don't have to be a statistic. That is two separate things. So the way I move, the way I think, all of that started with where I came from. And so I am a product of that. But two people operate, they respond to the same situation. They can respond to the same situation in completely opposite ways. Like growing up how I came up, I could be in prison right now because I could be doing all the illegal things that I grew up watching other people do, or I can be somebody who decided that I was going to be the police officer and know everything because I grew up seeing everything. I know what to do now. I know how to be the best police officer if that was something I wanted to do. So two people can see the same thing, grow up in the same house, and have two separate outcomes. You are still a product of your environment. It's just that, like I said, you don't have to be a statistic. I wasn't trying to be on here long, man. I was just going to come on here and holler at some of y'all, man. But damn, we got 41 people here, man. Curtis, bro, what's happening? I see you. Appreciate that. Fast money, that's right. Look, I coined the phrase fast money. You know what I'm saying? It's usually met with a negative stigma. You know what I mean? Like when I came up, fast money was like, whenever somebody mentioned the fact that somebody was getting fast money, it was like, it was, they was hustling. They was doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing, basically. Like, it was never said with like a positive, mentality or a positive message behind it. It was like, oh, what he doing? Young dude got a lot of money in his pocket, nice car. Oh, he get fast money. Yeah. You already know what he doing. Yeah, he got fast money coming in. But it's just crazy how like the way you think about something makes something negative, or like it's like saying, what if you young with money and a nice car? I ain't gonna say most of them weren't hustling, but just the fact that you would see that and say, oh man, that's fast money, you know what I'm saying? And then the other thing was fast money go fast, right? Like so we put this negative thought on fast money, and then we decide, so what we supposed to do, get money slower? Like, like that's the mentality almost that's put on you coming from my background, like you know, you go somewhere they talk about somebody getting fast money, you just thinking like, oh, he gambling, he hustling, he taking something from somebody, like whatever he doing, like he living fast. But we put this whole negative thought on it, man. I just want to turn it into something else because I'm telling you, banks get money. Those people who making, you know what I'm saying, who creating money, giving out loans, those banks get money faster than anybody gonna ever think about, you know. We talking like millions and millions in minutes and seconds is being generated, you know. So that's fast money. But I just want to change the thought. I just want to change, like, all of us deserve, let's get some money. Like, you don't have to be illegal. Let's just get, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to take that word, that phrase, and turn it into something positive, man. Put power behind that. But anyway, like I said, that's still part of coming from my background, you know what I'm saying, being a part of my environment, just thinking about all those things, and I use those as I move through life. Let's see. Yeah, face it, yeah. That's what's up, man. I'm just reading some of these comments, man. This love, man. Rome, I see you. Yeah, Mario, what's happening? Hope, man, what's happening? Ocho Zero, what's happening? Yeah, man. Hey, y'all tell me where y'all coming from. I see some people from Texas, Los Angeles. I see Chicago. Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. I appreciate it, man. We got 37 people in here right now. Quiet money. Jermaine saying he prefer the term quiet money. Quiet money is cool too. Quiet money is cool too. You know, it's a lot to do. Well, I ain't gonna say it's a lot to do with it, but whether or not it's quiet, whether or not it's loud, you know, if you get quiet money and it's coming slow, you know, if you want to get fast money and it's loud or it's quiet, like fast money don't mean that. Matter of fact, banks is getting money slow. I mean, they're not slow, but fast, but they getting it quiet. You know, that's cool. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's getting fast. That's all. I don't care if it's screaming at you. I don't care if it's quiet. I don't care what it is. Let's get it in. One of my partners said that you could always tell somebody who get money because if they got enough of it, you can't hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frank Lucas was getting so much money that eventually, you know, he couldn't hide it no more, you know. Eventually, I think that if you get enough money in, you ain't gonna be able to hide it. You know, somebody may not know where your house at, but like we say with Bill Gates. Bill Gates is in Forbes. You can't hide it. You know, if you get enough of it, they gonna report you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna say, yo, who's getting all this money? You know, who's disrupting this whole ecosystem that we got? You know, so, and Bill Gates ain't no flashy dude. You know, he bought all the houses around him. I don't remember how many houses it was, but he bought every house around him because he didn't want no neighbors. But when you do stuff like that, you know, your money is talking. You know, you know, he's trying to be as quiet as you want to, but if you get enough money, man, it's gonna be known. Yeah, New Jersey. Oh, New Jerusalem. Okay, what's happening? Reggie Red. Darnell, what's popping, man? Long Beach in the house. Okay. 850, you already know. Yeah. I want to say he almost ready. Yeah, man, look. I want to let y'all know. You guys, my subscribers, you guys on here right now, we are the wave, bro. Like, this is what we doing right now. We are the wave, bro. Like we are some of the most influential people on social media right now. Like, y'all don't even, well, not even just, I don't mean social media. We on social media right now. I mean in life. Y'all don't realize how much is dictated off of the things that y'all like right now. Like, I guarantee you, if we all decided to like start wearing a certain type of shoes, that it'll trickle to other people. We are the wave, man. We create the wave. We decide the wave right now. I guarantee that we can make some changes to the way people do things. You know what I'm saying? You know when Jay-Z had said, we don't put money to our ear, you know what I'm saying, or whatever like that, like the stacks of money. Like, I started seeing a lot less people putting the money to their ear. You know, some people did it to be rebellious, and then they got laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay-Z did auto-tune. Jay-Z was creating a wave. Like, I know for a fact that what we decide to do right now, we create a wave. Like, that's how crazy this is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could say, you know, I like this kind of truck, and people go out and they buy that truck. Like, I mean, people who not even watching the channel though. Like, it's somebody else who's seen the channel who telling them, you know, that, you know, they suggest that they get a dually truck with a, you know, a Dodge Ram 3500 because they saw something that I might have said, but these guys are creating, you know what I'm saying? It's just an extension. Like, everybody who watching this channel and everything that we doing, man, we really creating a wave right now. Like, whatever we decide to do, man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. So, Ty couple in Michigan that brought their friends together, started an investment club, and cracked the code on the lottery windfall, made millions. Yeah, I did see something like that. I think I've seen something like that a couple times though. Groups of people who come together and create like the lottery pool thing or whatever, and they've been winning. Yeah, you heard that line. Yeah, information is power. You know what? I was always told knowledge is power, right? But, and I'm sure I said this in another video, I was always told knowledge is power. But then I watched, and one of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones. I don't know if you watch it. If you don't watch it, you gotta watch that. Watch it, okay? I'm telling you. There's some good stuff in there, man. But there was a scene where Littlefinger, he whispers in the queen's ear that he knows something. You know what I'm saying? So she don't want nobody to know. So he kind of like saying, hey, I got something over you. You know what I'm saying? Be careful with me, right? And so he whispered in her ear, knowledge is power, right? So she said, guards. So the guards grabbed him. She told him, cut his head off. So they grabbed swords. They get ready to cut his head off. She said, stop. And then they stopped right before they cut his head off. And then she leaned over to him and said, knowledge isn't power. Only power is power. Bruh, I'm telling you, listen, the application of power, of knowledge is power. If you can have a bunch of knowledge, but if you don't use it, then it's really useless. You know what I'm saying? It's really useless. Like, you can know every capital city in the world, but if you don't go on Jeopardy to win some money with it, you know, or do something with it, then it's pointless. I told one of my people that, because he knows like every capital in the world, but it doesn't help him what he's doing. But yeah, so like the application of knowledge is power. Like, I can know a bunch of stuff, but if I don't ever use it, if I don't, that's why I'm, you know, I love this platform. I got stuff in my head that I don't even use. You know what I'm saying? But it might help somebody else. So I'm passing off whatever I can to whoever watching. You know what I'm saying? And who want to soak that up, man. If you can use it, I'm sure you can use it better than me. You know, like a coach may not know how to, you know, may know how to shoot the ball, but may not be Steph Curry. But he can work with Steph Curry and say, oh, no, you need to do it like this. Like, I know what you need to do. I can't see that good, or I'm too old, or whatever that is. So the application of knowledge is power, man. So if we could just help each other, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. I'm working on a few things, trying to get a few things together. And if I can do those, man, we're going to be straight out here. Like, that's why I'm saying, I know I got to meet all y'all, man. I want to meet all y'all. That's facts. Mario, information is like old money. Yeah. Right. LA in here. Okay, Los Angeles. Okay. I need to come out there too. I need y'all straight out there. Let me check that out. Right. So, anyway, I just wanted to come on here real quick, man. Me and old lady, we about to go watch American Gangster. You know what I'm saying? I like that movie. I like that movie, man. I like that movie. She made me turn it off last night because she wouldn't stop watching it and she didn't need to go to sleep. So she had me cut it off. But so we're going to finish it up tonight. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just get ready, you know, trying to get this money in, man. I got a few things going on. And I'm just glad all y'all came through to check me out tonight, man. I know I ain't really scheduled this out, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know what, I'm going to go live real quick, holler at my people, man, because, you know, having that conversation with my god brother, man, it really made me feel like I needed to address, you know what I'm saying, some things about, you know, the mentality that people who come from where I came from, you know what I'm saying, might be feeling like or thinking like and stuff like that. But you know, I don't have nothing to prove to nobody. Like I didn't, you know, my name solidified, my background solidified, but I ain't trying to perpetuate any of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We talking about growth and positivity. You know what I mean? You know, you could whatever you put out, you know, is what you get back. You know what I'm saying? So you could put out a bunch of negativity, and you'll get a lot of negativity back. You put out a lot of positivity, you can get a lot of positivity back. So that's all I'm trying to focus on, man. I got before the give on AKC Dog World for you can see though Gorilla. So y'all don't know, but I'm finna get one of them puppies from Gorilla. He got the Rottweiler puppies, man. Y'all trying to get one, y'all better holler at him. Definitely finna try to go to some dog show. I'm trying to do something different from what. Look, man, I came up, man. You could where I was at, it wasn't cool to play baseball. You know, we had basketball and football. So when one of my partners was saying he was go play soccer, he African, right? But he was saying he was go play soccer. We was like, who does that? You know, like who does that? But you know, that's just the part of his culture or whatever like that. So you know, but you know, we was so short-sighted at the whole world, man. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's amazing the things that you see when you leave that environment, which is more of being, you know, being influenced by your environment. We all influenced by our environment, no matter what it is, whatever your environment was. It just depends on how you processed it as a kid. Matter of fact, there was a situation once where I believe my sister, she was in college. This was way back in the day. I was a little boy. So she was in college, and this is back when like phones would be like house phones. Like they'll be in the room, you know, like they don't leave the house. There ain't no cell phones. So she had a house phone, and they used to do the long distance calls. So you can call long distance. But anyway, one of her roommates ran the phone bill up. So she called mom. She's like, yo, I'm about to, you know, get a job. You know, I might have to drop a class. You know, and my mom was like, no. Go ahead, keep going to school. I'll cover it. And she was like, really? Like, it's like a couple $100 or something? She was like, no, I got it. Don't worry. I'll cover it. I don't want you dropping no class. But what she didn't know was our lights went off after she paid that phone bill. Our lights back home went off. My sister, you know, was straight. But our lights back home went off. And I was in gifted classes doing my homework on the candles and moonlighting and stuff like that. But our lights went off behind it. And that's when I saw, and my sister never knew what my mama had did. So that's when I saw that, you know, we didn't have enough money for me to go to college. And so I was in 5th, maybe 6th grade, maybe 4th grade. I don't know what grade I was in, but I was being groomed for college. But it was in that moment that I realized, or that in my child's mind, in my child mind, that the way I processed that was going to college hurts my mom. You know what I mean? So I never even, after that, at that moment, I no longer had the desire to go to college because of that moment, you know? And that kind of shaped me to becoming more independent, trying to get off of my mama and all that kind of stuff like that. Now, was it a great thing that my sister did? Yes, it was, because she got her degree. She was able to help out at the house. She became an officer in the military. Like it was definitely beautiful. But I hadn't already switched that off by that point. But I did go back and I got it, you know, on my own. But you know, it was, you know, like I said, you're a product of your environment. The way you process something might be different from how somebody else processes it. Somebody else may say, oh, yeah, my mama really want me to go to college, so I'm going to do whatever I can to get the right grades so that I can go to college and make her proud and all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't how I processed it. So, anyway, man, roll tide. I see you, Gorilla. Sacrifice of leadership. Facts. See the Tallahassee cold with it, boy. Yeah. Oh man, what area you stayed in? I was in Frenchtown, the legendary Frenchtown, called City Bus 13. Where you stayed at? I'm just curious now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. Soon. Yeah, I see y'all. Yeah, Ron said he had a similar experience. How I feel about multifamily real estate. I mean, I mean, I love multifamily real estate. I love real estate in general. Like I love the concept of real estate. Everybody love real estate. Everybody love the concept of real estate. Now, this is one thing that I always try to. I'm an accountant, right? So I always put things into, I guess, financial. I always try to quantify something, right? So when people think about real estate, they're not really thinking quantity. They're thinking quality. They're thinking, I don't have to work as hard. You know, that money is like long-term money, right? Or it's forever, like it's always going to be real estate here on this planet. And so when people think about real estate, they think about it in a quality aspect versus a quantity aspect. So if I told you that this phone right here, you could buy it for $50 and you could sell it for $400. If I told you that the profit margin on this phone, if you manufacture these phones, the profit margin on these phones would be far greater than the profit margin that you would see selling a house or you know, buying and renting out a house, right? But in our minds, this is never going to be a house. But Apple has sold so many of these that by the time somebody's trying to sell this, make that much money in real estate, it's not going to be close, right? But they basically bought something for like really cheap, and then they sold it for high, right? But it's a small device, so it's also, I don't have to go that far in debt to sell these, right? But do I like multifamily real estate? Absolutely. I love the quality aspect of multifamily real estate. But when you look at deals that like what Grant Cardone is doing, they literally spending $50 million. They spending $100 million in order to, make money over time, and then hopefully they can turn it and flip it to somebody else for more money, maybe 75 million or something like that. But they spending $50 million. How many of these, if you had $50 million, how many of these could you buy? And if you sold them all, what is the profit margin? And that's what I was saying. Like, it's a difference between quantity and quality. So would this be harder to sell? It might be harder to sell. Or at least in our minds, it is not as comfortable as finding somebody who needs a place to stay. But, these are much easier to get into, and if you got 50 of them and they don't sell good, okay, let's try something else, right? But if you got a $50 million apartment and then it's infested with bed bugs or something like that, like, you got a lot going on, So it's just a lot to process. But I love multifamily real estate. My bad. I got off. Yeah. All right. Your opinion, where is it good to flip houses? I mean, right now it's still good in Atlanta to flip houses here, Christina. It's still good to flip houses here in Atlanta. But I guess everything is like what you make it. I know people who are in Macon, Georgia, and they're making a small killing down there because they're getting these houses $10,000-$20,000, and they're not flipping them the way you would normally flip a house. What they're doing is they're finding people who want to rent to own. So let's say, just an example, they find a place that's somebody owe like $20,000 on it, and they own, maybe they behind on the, or maybe they don't want to pay on it no more. They tired of paying on it. They don't live there no more, whatever like that. Maybe they about to lose it. They'll come in and say, "Hey, how much are you behind?" "Oh, I'm behind $2,000. Well, I tell you what, I'll take control of it. Give you the $2,000. Give me 30 days to, find somebody who's willing to move into it. And if I can find somebody who's willing to move into it in 30 days, then I'll give you the $2,000 and I'll make the payments on it. So now you can go and you ain't got to worry about paying that $400-$500 a month, $600 a month that you're paying towards a mortgage. I'll cover that and catch it up for you. Just sign it over to me for 30 days, and then if I don't find anybody, you can just have it back. So people are like, okay, cool. So they give them, they sign it over to them, and when they sign it over to them, they find somebody who's looking to rent their own. And if you were looking to rent their own, they charge them a high down payment. It might be somebody who got some money, so usually especially around like tax time. So they might have $4,000-$5,000. Or they might have $6,000-$7,000, but they got bad credit. They can't get a loan. Maybe they got street money. Whatever it is, but they find these people who still want to own something because they've been renting forever, but they still want to own something, and they got capital, like they got money, but they don't have the ability to get a loan, like a loan for $80,000, $100,000. So what they do is, they'll put down the people who are flipping the house to the rent-own person. They are going to charge them a high down payment. The down payment might be $5,000, $6,000. That person's like, cool. They drop down $5,000, $6,000. It might be all tax money, whatever it is, but they get the keys. They can rent on it. So now they move in, and they ain't fixing nothing. They say, look, this is your house now. If you want it like this, you got to, you got to fix it up, whatever like that. So they ain't gonna even put no money into it, like the people who originally acquired the house from the motivated seller. So they ain't even gonna put no money in it. They gonna have people who moving in paint, fix the plumbing, and all kind of stuff, right? So they and also had they gone the bank route, usually, especially for FHA loan, it'll have to pass some kind of inspection. But doing this rent-own thing, you got to pass no kind of inspection. So it's just all these different kind of ways that these people. So now they got the 5 bands. They put $2,000 down on the. Say they got 5, 6 bands. Let's say they got 5 bands. They took the $5,000. They put the $2,000 to catch the thing up. Now they can pay. Now they're really sitting on $3,000 profit, and then the person is paying them, say $950, $1,000 a month, and so they're able to make the payment and still pocket $400-$500 a month. So those kind of things are going on a lot. I see them all the time, especially in places like Macon. But they're not flipping the houses, how they flipping them here in Atlanta. And then if the person defaults on the rental, like let's say somebody get in there and 6 to 8 months down the line, they just like, man, all this stuff. Because remember, there's probably a lot of things wrong with these houses. And so now these people they put their $5,000-$6,000 down, they invested money in the plumbing or put a new flow in, whatever like that. Now 8 months down the line, the roof need to be replaced. They like, man, I ain't got no more money to put in this place, and I can't be in here where it's raining and water dripping in here, and I got a baby girl in here. So they'll rather just move back to an apartment or move in with their folks than to keep dealing with that house. They got all those issues. But what happens with that house? That house goes back to the person who has a sublease agreement, or who has the original lease agreement from the motivated seller. They get that house back, and then they just turn it again to somebody else. Now they find somebody else. Hey, I need $5,000 down, and those people put that $5,000 down, and it's probably be almost a year later, and it's right around tax time, so they put another $5,000 down. Now they all the way caught up, so they ain't got to put $2,000 to catch the mortgage up again. So they just pocket that $5,000, and the people move in. They tell them, hey, whatever you see wrong with it, you got to fix it. So they go back to fix it. It's a repeated cycle over and over. It's just crazy, man. I'm telling you. I see it all the time. That's what I'm saying. I know that's how it works. Look, Kappa Alpha Psi. All right, I see you. All right, how fast can you turn the asset to cash? How fast can you turn the asset to cash? Well, it depends on the asset, right? It depends on the asset. But it also depends on the market. I mean, what the market wants, and if you have somebody to buy it, right? Like, how fast can Zaxby's turn strips from their factory into cash? That's their asset. How fast can they turn it into cash? As soon as somebody pull up and order it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, no problem, Christina. I got you. Sharks and Predators. Yeah. This is the best TV on the web. hey man, it's crazy, right? You have to be careful. Yep. Oh boy, y'all cappers on here, man. I see y'all, man. I see y'all. Cappers in here strong, man. You know what's up, man? I got love. I got love for y'all. Anyway, right now you watching Casino Is the Name. I'm out of here. Like I said, I might go watch this American Gangster. I think it's on Netflix. You should watch it tonight too. Nigga be like, you know what? Me and Casino watch the same movie tonight. I'm just saying. Anyway, right now you watching Casino Is the Name, man. I'm out of here. Sit in my living room.